What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Abdul S. Muhammad, and I'm joined, and I'm your host, and I'm joined with my co-host here, Samuel Genius, and we're from Digital Marketing Think Tank, and today we're going to talk about Stone Age marketing.
Yeah, that sounds like a cuss word, right?
I know it does.
That's a marketing cuss word.
It kind of cuts deep, to be honest, because I'm like, when you hear it, you're like, I'm the first vision that comes to my mind is like the Flintstones or something like that, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's exactly how real it is. It's like, companies are using outdated stuff, outdated marketing techniques, and then they're wondering why things is not working for them.
Now, Samuel, I'm going to tell you this, man. I can tell you right now that people are going to be upset today because I've had this conversation with people. You have people with their feet planted in the soil and you dragging them. And they're like, look, this is the way I've done it for 10, 15, 20 years, and it works, and I'm not changing, right? To me, that's the equivalent of a person that is basically with the horse and buggy, and they're hooking the horse up, and they're getting ready to take the horse and buggy to go get something to eat. Load the family in the wagon.
And the thing that's so cool is let them do that. Let them ride their horse to wherever they want to ride to. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get there 3 hours earlier. It's just that simple, right? Your competition is going to get there 3 hours earlier, that's 3 years earlier, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to get more customers because they're able to get to the destination faster. They're able to produce their products and put it on the market faster. They're able to, they're just able to do things faster because they're using better technology, better strategies. So we're not necessarily here to argue with what people are doing. Nope. We're simply saying, to some degree, business is a competition.
Yeah,
right?
Is.
And the best man or woman is going to win.
That's true.
So you can be on this race. You can walk, you can run, you can take a horse, you can be in a Corvette, or you could take a jet, right? So there's always ways to improve. And the people who don't want to improve, let them stay where they're at, because your competition is always going to be studying you and figuring out how they can do better. So this presentation is designed for all of the people who want to do better, who want to grow faster. You want to accomplish things faster. You want to reach, you want to grow your business to a certain point before your kids turn 18 or before your child turns 5. You know what I mean? Or maybe some of you you're 20, you're 25 years old and you want to get certain things in place before you get married, right? This is for all those people. And for those of you who may be still on the horse and buggy, maybe we'll say something today that will get you thinking.
And if you hadn't already clicked away for this video, for the horse and buggy people that are still here, just all I'm asking is listen to this with a clear mind. And Sammy, I gave you the quick example. I gave you the example when I was in Bangkok. This message out there that America is the strongest country and things like that. America is a great country. Mm-hmm. But I remember that I immediately came to the conclusion. I was like, I don't even need a car here.
Right.
Because I can literally jump on a speed train and I'm within 5 minutes of anywhere I need to go in the city.
Wow.
And it was fast. And I'm like, well, America doesn't have anything like this. Mm-hmm. We have these old subways, that make so much noise going down the freaking the little tunnel or whatever, and it's a hassle. And I'm just like, well, why doesn't America have anything like this? And you had an interesting conclusion of why.
Because remember, America was for many countries, America was like the first to show up. Mm-hmm. They're the first to build, those subways and things of that nature. And they had great infrastructure, but it's old technology.
Oh,
that's all it is. It wasn't old technology when they started. It was very innovative, right? But it's 50, 60 years later. And so these other countries, they have better technologies today. And they're like, we're going to create this speed train. Yeah. Now, try to implement that speed train within the subway system in America. right?
Mm-hmm.
That may be problematic because we have to repair the rails. There's a lot of stuff we need to do, and all that is underground, right? So yes, being first, there are privileges to being first, but there are also some cons to being first. And one of the cons is everybody's going to study you. And when they study you, there's a possibility that they can take your number one spot. And how can the number one spot be taken? If they are really good at being innovative, if they have a lot of drive, you know, and if they're willing to, if they have a level of discipline, you can be first, but before you know it, you see them in your rearview mirror now.
Yes.
And if you're not careful, they'll bypass you. And we're living in a day and time where, you know, like I tell young people, I'm like, do you know of a company called IBM? They're like, what's that? You know, but they know Dell, right? Yep. People like MySpace, but you know Facebook, right? Facebook just came along and, you know, it's the newspaper industry, right? The internet, blog articles are putting newspapers out of business, you know? People like YouTube and Netflix are putting Blockbusters out of business. So Blockbusters was great, you know, years ago, but now you have new technology. There's different problems that are being solved, and they're being solved better. And so if you're one of those people who came to the table first, just because you got there first, you can't get lazy, you can't get complacent, you have to be innovative. And so some of these older companies are like, well, I've been doing this for the past 10, 15 years. And I'm like, you can keep doing it, but these new kids on the block are going to be using better technology. They're going to be innovative, and they're going to learn from your mistakes, and they're going to implement them, and they're going to pass you. And they might even put you out of business.
You know, I want to add to that what you said about Blockbuster, because I think they were blindsided. Because it's like, when I tell you what, they were blindsided. They were comfortable because Blockbuster came, and then I don't know if you remember Hollywood Video. Then they came.
Yep.
And they were doing great. And then all of a sudden, this little machine that didn't have the freaking brick and mortar store.
Yeah, what was that? That was the Redbox.
Redbox. And here they're still doing good. Now, maybe Charlotte, they're different. But then they stuck that thing and put them outside of Walgreens and some gas stations. And then boom. All of a sudden, you've seen Blockbusters and Hollywood Video closing everywhere.
Correct.
And then Blockbuster tried to come with their own later on, and it was like, too late.
Yep.
Too late.
Yeah, because right, and I think that's the key. And I think one of the reasons why, you know, we may have to go a little bit longer on this video, maybe like 5 minutes longer, because there's so many nuggets to share in this, right? You know, you have people, you know, who they're like, well, I got a website, right? And I created a blog. And we're like, man, that's so old school. That's so 1990s. That's so like, you know, early 2000s. Yeah. And people may be like, well, what are you talking about? Well, I have a website and I have a blog. Yeah. And people think that just because they have a website and they have a blog, you know, like I'm gonna have 1,000 people coming to my page. You know what I mean? And people have to remember the internet is no longer new.
Nope.
When the internet was new, there was a lot of rave and a lot of hype and a lot of, oh, you got a website? Let me go check it out. But now everybody and their uncle has a website.
Everyone.
Right? It's no, you know, it's like, okay, you got a website and what? You want a cookie? It's like, you know, it's just like normal, right? So now it's like, how do I stand out of the crowd?
Yes.
You know? And so now it requires, now we need to do more. There's more effort that's required. We have to implement better marketing strategies, you know, like you think about Liberty Insurance, right? Back in the, you know, some of them still do it around here. They have the mascot where somebody's dressed like, you know, the Statue of Liberty, right? Yep. Now it works. Obviously that way works, right? But there's way better ways. I mean, there are better ways to do marketing. You know, you can spend the same amount of money you're paying that person to be your mascot. You can put that into Facebook ads, Google AdWords, you know, and I'm not saying they're not doing that, right? They may be, but certain franchise places may not. We don't know. But there's just other ways to do it. You don't have to put, make these little cardboard signs and put them at the corner, you know, and stick them down. And then you come back 24 hours and the county picked them up, right? Because it was illegal to place them there. You know, you see them at the corners. You know,
Yeah.
people are coming, they come at 2:00 in the morning and put them down, you know, and they figure it's a high traffic corner, you know, and that works, right? You know, my wife used to have an in-home daycare, and we would put those things down, and we'd get calls from them. But then at the same time, we'd go back 2 days later and they're gone. Somebody, you know, the town came and moved it up, and we're like, oh, we got to come up with a more creative way of attracting an audience.
But to add to that, what you had talked about earlier about these Liberty Techs, you know, people that wear like the mascot suits and things like that. They're only on one street, like you said. They're
Right.
one street, but there are
Many streets in the town, right?
In your area, so they're only getting seen in that area. And when the internet came, a lot of people became millionaires because now they no longer. I don't know about you, Samuel, but I remember we used to promote events, and the way we promoted them was we would find a light pole and a stapler gun, and we'll staple the announcement on that light pole and hope that somebody be walking past there and see it. Now we have
like a lost dog. Help me find my lost dog, right? Or my lost cat.
Yeah.
And it gets so pitiful. Like come to my store. It's, you know, it's like we use the same techniques. You know, it gets so bad that I've actually seen people like begging for customers, like come support me. Like this is not the Salvation Army.
Ooh,
like
no charities.
Yeah, you know, this is not a charity system. Create a product that I want to buy and market me. You know, don't try to, you know, bully me into becoming your customer.
That's the disconnect though. A lot of business owners don't know how to market.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
And that's why
and you can't blame them. Right? Can you blame them? But because most of them are authors, they're not digital marketers.
You know, I agree with you saying. You know, I interviewed Nip Patel, and I remember something he told me. He said that, you know, I had created the website and I did all that, but now I'm like, how the freak do I get customers?
Right.
And that's where the marketing come in. Like you only have one part of business done if you have the website and you have your product.
Yep.
You have to have a constant flow of traffic, the right traffic that's coming into your area to do business with you.
Right. I mean, even look at business cards, right? It's, you know, many companies don't even need a business card.
No.
Yet many companies today think they need one. I'm like, why do you need a business card when you have a national business? Your customers are all over the United States. How in the heck are you going to give them your business cards? Right? You can be in one city and your customers are people outside of the city. You don't need a business card. You need social media advertising.
Exactly.
You need a landing page, right? You need, you know, a good website that you can drive traffic to. You know, you need to create a blog on your website, post that blog on Facebook, social media, and then boost it. You know what I mean? And then get people, drive traffic back to your website. And then when they're reading your blog article, have a call to action on the right side or below the article. You know, get their attention to join your list or to give them a free offer so that they can be a part of your email list and that you can market to them later. There's so many different techniques. You know what I mean? It's like you can market, if you're a brick and mortar store, you can use YouTube to market to people in your area. Because look how many people are watching YouTube videos. And all you have to do is create the same commercial you make for television. You can make the exact 30-second commercial for YouTube, and you can target all the people within a 5-mile radius of your brick and mortar store. You know, you can create your targeted audience and spend way less money than you would on the local television station.
That's a very important piece. Way less.
Now, we just gave out a nugget, and that's free.
You know, but Samuel, a lot of people get upset about this, man. Because I remember back in the time for AOL, where you had the dial-up system, you could go bake cookies and come back, and your page still hasn't downloaded. It's just that we talked about this earlier, that as time goes on, human beings have longer to, you know, like where we are right now with driving cars. If we passed away and our sons and daughters came and they had, you know, 30, 40 years to look at this product that we created, it's going to get better because they have more time to look at, you know? But some people get upset though. Some people
but think about it. And I would challenge those people. Why would you get upset about making more money? Why would you get upset about implementing a new way that's going to make more money so you can live the life of your dream. That's not a marketing issue. That's a mindset issue.
Pride,
right?
laziness.
And so, but all of those things, pride, ego, laziness, complacency, those are all self-sabotaging behaviors. Those are all business sabotaging behavior. So why would you say, I'm going into business so that I can create wealth? I'm going into business so that I can be able to have an inheritance for my children and my grandchildren. I'm going into business so I can spend more time with my wife and do more of the things that I love. And then somebody comes along and gives you a better way to do things that will make you more money, and you have to spend less time, and you fight against that. Now that's a mental issue. I don't even know what to say to those people. I'm just like, next, who's the other person who wants to grow their business? Come on in the room. Bye. I'll see you later. Hopefully you'll change your mind, but I'm not going to waste my energy. Remember, I don't know how long we have to live.
We don't.
I can't spend my time debating with people who, you know, that's just not I can't do it.
Samuel, I think there's one piece though that a lot of people are not getting. It's easier. Mm-hmm. And so if you can do something that's less headache and you can make money, you'd think the light bulb will be going off like, hey, I'm going to do this thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy that's stapling 100 announcements to 100 light poles in my city.
Right.
I want to be the guy that targets 1,000 or 10,000 people in my city of the right demographic, and I could sit and go bake my cookies and go out with my family and
still be making money while you're doing that.
Totally.
Like you're sitting on a bench having a cappuccino with somebody you love, just people watching. Yeah. And while you're doing that, you're making money. That's how far technology has come.
Yes.
Me and my wife was at the gun range and I'm teaching her how to shoot, right? Mm-hmm. And while I'm doing that, I'm getting notifications on my Android phone. Hey, you got a new lead. You got a new customer. You have a new appointment. Someone came to your website and signed up for, a consultation. Mm-hmm. And it's after hours. I'm at the gun range, or I'm at, I tell people the story of during the time when my mother-in-law died. She was in a hospice. We was taking care of her in our home. She lived with us and we did hospice in the house. And while we're going through that, my wife's going through her emotions, and all that. And she passed away like 1:52 in the morning on March 3rd. This is like last month.
Yeah.
And yet in the midst of all of that, I'm still getting leads. See, that's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. In the midst of sad seasons, in the midst of good times and bad times, technology is at a point now. See, understand, the computer has no emotions. No. The computer doesn't know that you're having a bad day. All it knows is I'm programmed to deliver this message to 10,000 people. I'm programmed that if somebody fills out this form, I'm going to put them in this leads bucket or this customer bucket. I'm going to send out this transactional email on Monday. And then it's doing that. It has no emotions. It doesn't say, hey, Sam, are you having a good day? It doesn't even care. Right? It just does what it's programmed to do. And that's the time we're living in, is that, marketing, because a lot of salespeople, if they're having a bad day, it affects their sales. Right?
Yeah.
If they're having a bad day, can you imagine that mascot? How is he or she going to put on a smile and do all that stuff when they're having a bad day? They just had an argument with their spouse and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when you have, digital marketing and you have like these marketing automation and all that stuff going on, it doesn't matter whether you had a bad day or a good day. Your engine is still running.
Totally. And Sam, this is something that we could talk about for a long time. And yeah, I would just tell the audience that share this. If this is something that is beneficial to you, whatever, click on the link below and explain. Join the marketing group. Get around other marketing minds, and just make sure that you're not spending your time doing something that's outdated.
Exactly.
It is actually hurting your business.
Right. So basically, for those of you out there, if you're doing business, if you're implementing Stone Age marketing, and when we say Stone Age marketing, Stone Age can be something from 10 years ago. Yeah. It doesn't have to be something from way back in the 1800s or the 1500s. We're talking about techniques that were around in the 1990, 2005. Those techniques, there are better ways of doing things. And we're saying, if you're serious about generating new leads for your business, if you're serious about taking your business to the next level, then you need to join our think tank. Go to www.digitalmarketerthinktank.com/join. That's www.digitalmarketerthinktank.com/join. And it's a Facebook group. We have what do you call it? A lead generation challenge. That's why I like that. People have the fitness challenge, the push-up challenge. They have the cold water bucket challenge, Well, our challenge is we're challenging you, entrepreneurs, to generate 25 new leads every week on a consistent basis. That is the goal. 25, right? Somebody may say, well, that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're coming from 5, 25 is a lot. If you're coming from 0, 25 is a lot, So we're targeting all of those business owners who are not getting consistent leads, every single week. So join the group. It only costs $37 to join the group. You get access to the group. You get access to collaboration. You get access to all of the resources and training materials. We even appear on there live. We'll answer questions and all that kind of stuff. We have sessions where we look at your work. If you have landing pages, Facebook ads that are not producing well and you're not getting enough leads, we can look at those things for you and give you some tips on how you can make it better so that you can generate more leads. And so just join the group. It'll be perfect for those of you who are looking to grow your leads every week. So I think that's pretty much it. Go to www.digitalmarketerthinktank.com/join, and we will see you inside the group.
All right, guys. Well, take care. Samuel said it all, and see you at the next episode.
All right. Take care.